WIV has become aware of several misinformed and malicious internet attacks on its business and professional integrity, and on the integrity of its management, directors, and attorneys. These attacks are those published in TCI Net News on 21st of August 2008 and in TCI Journal on 24th and 26th of August 2008. All are highly defamatory and replete with manifold untruth. This station says the following. WIV has no allegiance to any political party or group. It is strictly neutral and impartial in political matters and is in no way aligned to PNP, PDM, or any other political group. Its owners and directors have been a part of the business community and the Turks and Caicos Islands for over 25 years. Neither they nor WIV has any association, financially or otherwise, with any minister of government, past or present. The attempt to portray WIV as a lackey of the present government is absolutely wrong. WIV's only interest as a professional media organization is to contribute to a healthy, properly functioning democracy where news, facts, and informed viewpoints, not malicious and unsupported attacks on others, are given full range such that all sides are presented and are able to be evaluated in a climate of fairness and fair and reasonable give and take. As a commercial enterprise responsible to its shareholders, WIV is not prepared to host, air, and therefore publish in a legal sense slanderous material sponsored by any particular individual or group. For WIV to act as the mouthpiece of any individual or group who wishes to use airtime to slander another individual or group would be for WIV to embroil itself in expensive and time-consuming lawsuits and expose itself to very heavy damages, awards, and legal costs. Media organizations have no special immunity under TCI defamation law, and WIV is not prepared to have its willingness to present different political viewpoints abused and its viability as a community station put under constant threat. Within the last year, WIV has in fact received threats of legal action in relation to statements made on air by people from both political parties. WIV recently discontinued the airing of a weekly program called The PDM Speaks because the material presented on the last occasion contained grossly slanderous statements about several public figures, both in and out of politics, which had this material been aired by WIV, would have exposed WIV to substantial liability. Indemnities are not the answer, as the potential liability for airing serious or defamatory matter could be enormous. Under the Constitution of the Turks and Caicos Islands, freedom of expression, while guaranteed, is a qualified right. The freedom of expression granted and protected by the Constitution also protects balancing interests such as reputations. The United States has a different constitution and different defamation laws, but we live under TCI law, with greater protection for reputations, including those of people in public life. The recent misinformed and malicious attacks on WIV have assumed that, by WIV insisting on basic standards of public dialogue and expression and refusing to make itself the vehicle for the airing of unsupported slanders and defamatory accusations, it has somehow attached itself to the present government or to a particular political party. That is most absolutely not the case. Again, WIV has no linkage or connection to any particular political interest or to the government. WIV as a news presenter is committed to continue its mission of impartial coverage of news events, including those which are politically sensitive. But without exception of all attempts to muzzle and cow WIV and to intimidate its management and to direct its future programming will be firmly resisted. The internet attacks of the last few days are misconceived and shameful. WIV repudiates each and every one of those attacks. The owners and management of WIV have a long history in these islands and are well aware of day-to-day issues and concerns. They are not going to bend to unfounded and inflammatory accusations. As a separate matter, the suggestion in one of the internet pieces that work of the current Commission of Inquiry depends on or will be influenced by on-air statements by political commentators demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding and the process involved. WIV obviously understands the need for the opposition party to be able to present its views to the public and for the public to have as much information as possible about issues facing our community. WIV hopes to work with both political parties to find ways to promote programming which will balance freedom of expression and the rights of individuals, whether in public life or otherwise. The owners and directors of WIV take very seriously WIV's reputation, as well as the reputations of WIV's dedicated management and staff. In an effort to respond immediately to the allegations made, the chairman of WIV extended a written invitation to the person giving his name and one of the internet attacks as Richard Burke and his address as Providenciales Turks and Caicos Islands, BWI, and to the editors of the TCI Journal, whose identities were not known to WIV, to meet with them in Providenciales at 2 p.m. on Thursday, August 28. The response to that invitation came in the form of a further internet posting on Wednesday morning, 27 of August 2008, in which the persons invited assembled, but in substance declined the invitation. The chairman of WIV wrote again to try to have the persons concerned meet with him yesterday, Thursday, 28 of August 2008, at 2 p.m. in Providenciales at a face-to-face meeting, so that they could put forward in person any actual evidence for their assertions and charges. This time, the WIV chairman's letter was not posted on TCI Journal's website, but the WIV chairman was wronged by Mr. Anthony Hall of Washington, D.C., who disclosed himself as being one of the various TCI Journal editors based in the U.S. and the only one publicly identified. Mr. Hall promised to make evidence available on Friday, today, but then later, citing business commitments, sought to extend the date for his producing a memo to this coming Monday. The WIV chairman was not prepared to keep extending the date and made it clear that he wanted was solid evidence, not a memo crafted by Mr. Hall. The WIV chairman then finally insisted, in a further email to Mr. Hall, that any evidence to support any of the assertions and charges made against WIV be placed in the chairman's hands by 2 p.m. today, Friday. In any event, the deadline of 2 p.m. today came and went with no evidence of any kind from Mr. Hall or any of his associates in the TCI Journal or from Mr. Burke to substantiate in any way their assertions and charges against WIV. WIV has drawn the obvious conclusion about its accusers. It would seem they are hypocrites who are only too happy to defame and tarnish reputations built up over many years of hard work and of service to the public in these islands, yet who remain largely anonymous, and when put to the task of showing themselves and producing any shred of evidence to back up their allegations, flunk it. WIV will continue to do its best to provide the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands with responsible and balanced news and other programming. We recognize that during these uncertain times, people are looking to get all the information they can on the issues that are facing our community. We will, however, insist on doing this in a manner that respects both the laws and the people of our islands.